my name is Dennis, and this is gonna be the last video of the year. It's gonna be a workshop tour because I kind of want to show people that you don't need a huge workshop to do fun stuff in your spare time. It is a hobby for me, after all. Also, everything I have in here, I have financed through buying, restoring, and selling. So just keep that in mind. I'll just come get you, and we'll just start from the end and work our way around. It's not a big shop. It's 5 meters long. That would be 16 feet, and about 220 meters wide. And there was, I think that's around 7 feet. So anyway, let's get started. So we're gonna start the door. I installed double doors. They're pretty expensive in the budget that I had, but I think they were worth it. Also, just to note, there is 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters or 4 inches, all after what you want, in the ceilings, the walls, and the floor. And that is so I don't get rust on my tools. And the floor is really important in that respect. So, just a note so we can continue. I don't restore big machines anymore because I don't have the space for it, but I do restore a lot of hand tools. And so this rack over here is just things that are currently for sale and some painting stuff and storage below. On top I do have some storage too, just metal pieces, aluminium, round stock, that sort of thing. So the next thing is my K-Packs. I built this table for it. And I put this plug back here, and that goes into the not a cam vac, but a vacuum. I think it's called that. Yeah. And next to that, I have my Oneida Dust Cyclone, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just wish they made one that wasn't so damn tall, because I had to drill a hole in the bottom, and I still have to take off the lid to get the bucket out. It is a bit annoying, but it is what it is. I have 2 hoses with it that live up here, a 27 mil and I think it's a 32 mil. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. That goes into that, and that means, of course, if I plug anything into this, the vacuum will flip on automatically. And also the table here, I made these wings that can be operated by one hand, and I put, I think this is from an old overhead that I installed. I think I got it off an old school or something. They don't use them anymore, so I got this for free. I put in 2 magnets, and that's because when you flip this one down, it always sticks the same place. And that means I can use this to decide how much leverage I want to be able to put at the end before it's level with the table. So that's it. There's one in the other side as well, over there. It's an old saw, I think it's from 2007. It is. So it's been in Germany and been retrofitted. They do that for free if it's between 2007 and 2010. And that's what this is for. So I really like it. But I'm also thinking about getting rid of it because I really want a metal lathe. And, you know, that would have to be here, a smaller one. But yeah, we'll see. I talked about that last year too. So it'll probably be a long time before I get to that. The 27 millimeter hose goes into this extension hose down here. I use it for the router. I have a small Makita router. I use it for that one, and I use it for my Festool sander. And then I use it for this oscillating spindle sander. So it just goes in there. It's always plugged in, and I can switch these around. They just sit up there. So that's easy. And the other end is connected to a Bluetooth switch. Also, the first thing that I have is the drill press from Shepherd. Don't don't put too large bits in this. If I put this 35mm bit in that, it will drop it. It can't. It's just you can lock it and make it stay, and it vibrates. So it's better than nothing. But yeah, I don't know. I really wish I would have gone for something else. But I think I saw somewhere where they showed that you could replace these. The problem is the locking mechanism up here, where you just switch it back and forth. That's so annoying. So, and of course the, that's just too much play for me. Also around it, I have the different drills that I use the most, and the rest is down here in the shelves. And this is made. I used inspiration from Hooked on Wood, but this is still the first place because usually I just put something over top it and drill into that. AKA why I have that bucket over there with spares. So yeah, otherwise I do have an extra one here for when I get to it, but it won't be for a while. That's where my saws are located. This one is gonna go because I don't like it, and I have KM19, I think it's called, in a box over there. I just have to open it. And I have some, I have a speed square and engineering squares and so on. And the next one is the power tools. I use Makita because that's what I got. And everything that's corded in my workshop, I don't really care. I just have what I have. So a battery station up here works pretty damn well. I did think about moving this upward, but it turns out there's plenty of space below, so that's not a big deal. A year ago, none of this was here. This one was at the floor below the rack, and the rack wasn't there actually. And this top was mounted to the wall over there, that was just a pain. So I never used it at that time because you had to flip things around all the time to make it work. 30 centimeters was the max that I could make holes on one side. But moving forward, as you can see, I have a Makita router. This is a Bosch plunge saw. So yeah, if it's corded, I don't care. I have removed everything that I had up there. These two shelves were over there, and I just moved them over here. These are the top shelf. I've actually restored so many of the tools that I brought home that the top shelf is now things that needs to be restored, but for myself, except there's a few irons in these plastic buckets. And the lower one, they're ready to go. But I want them to be placed over here instead. And I want that mess gone. So that's going to be my next, one of the next projects will be that. I don't care if it's already restored or not, because if I have a place to put them, then it doesn't matter that much. They won't be in the way. That way I can make that, because that's hard to get to. So I can make that my sales rack, and they can have their own life over there. If we move on, this is a bench stock system, a quad MFT hinge. I really like this. Pop it on. Of course, a table saw is easier, but I don't really have the space for one. If I had to build my entire shop around it, and then I just get my plunge saw, put it over. That's fine. And I do know that a lot of people, when they make these, they route out on both sides of the cut and put in a sacrificial piece. Now, I've used this a lot of times, and it still hits the slot that it made the first time, every time. But I don't do 45 degrees on this very often. And yeah, but then again, if you do 45 degrees, you just have two slots. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything about it before this gets chewed up or doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't make sense to me. But maybe I'm using it wrong. I don't know. But let's continue over here. This is just everything that I didn't know where else to put, I put it there. And yeah, well, I'll get around to it this year, I'm sure. I've said that for 2 years now, so hopefully this year will be the year that I get rid of that and, you know, make something that's easily accessible. I have my radio. This is a really big project. I bought a lot from a person, and he said he had a Stanley 55. I wouldn't pay him anything for it, and that's a good thing because it turned out all he had was the skate, the center's body, and one of the skates, and the rest wasn't there. So it's cost me a fortune. I kind of wish I hadn't gotten it in the first place, but you know, I have it and it's almost complete. I think I only need the slither and 2 or 3 irons, and then it's a complete number 55. So, will I ever use it? I don't know, because I do have one record multiplane 405, which is the equivalent of a Stanley 45. So it's not like I need it, but it is going to be a fun project. Probably going to take me a month or more to do. So yeah, well, over here is some chisels, Japanese chisels that I brought home, but I haven't readied them yet. I think it's called. The hoop isn't set, and it isn't flat on the back, and it isn't sharp. So I thought about making a movie about it in Danish, because there isn't really anything in Danish. I don't think I'm going to do one in English, but because I already think there is a couple of videos out there. So, but if you want one, let me know. I'll make it. This is my shooting board plane with the hardware to make a shooting board. I should have done that at least a year ago when I got it, but yeah, I was busy, so I did other things. Down here is that's my Moxon vise. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on what was the best and so on, and in the end I made my own instead, because this is fitted to what I need and what fits my bench and so on. I have 2 wings. The only thing I would have liked is that these were a bit longer, but the oak blocks that I had weren't longer. They weren't longer than this, and so I maximized the table size instead. They are a bit longer in the back, so they can be fixated in the back with the dog holes, and in the front with clamps or dog holes. So it will tip if I start moving this out, but I made this so that it doesn't have the thread all the way out here, and it is the handle that moves in and out. It's fixed, so that moves in and out. I'm really happy about that. It's also one of the first projects that I did almost exclusively with hand tools, hand planes and so on, except from the block splitting the wood. I did that on the bandsaw because I don't have a saw that's a panel saw or something like that. I don't have that. So and of course you can't you have to sand MDF because it's just a pain in the ass to do with the plane. Basically you can't do it with the plane. It'll chip and so on. You can see down how I tried it. And I made mine a little bit different than the others, in that it moves, and that's on purpose. And that's because if I have something that isn't perfectly square, it's not a problem in this one. And the reason for doing that is that it is a problem in this one, in this old record. Because if you clamp something that isn't square, you need blocks in here, and if I don't have blocks that fit exactly. I know I could print something, but I haven't gotten around to it. Instead, I use I just fix this with whatever pieces I have around. Flip it around when it gets too used on one side, and so on. So that's actually why. And I made this with the MDF because I got MDF on my work table, on my extra table, on my drill press, and it's I thought it would be nice and it would fit in. So that's why I did it. So I'm just gonna leave that there because that's kind of heavy. Down here I have an old vise, engineer's vise or whatever you call them. It's a big, it's an old big heavy thing, and it's not going anywhere. So down here is the wire wheel. I put it on a piece on the shelf actually, because then it would be easy to take out, and only use this outside because it makes a mess like you would not believe. So for that reason it lives in there. And then just you know, some storage down there. And you can see there's I just made an L-shaped piece of wood and a block of wood in the bottom, and that's what holds the what's it called, the Moxon vise in place. When this shooting board is finished, if there's room, the idea is it's gonna hang down here. So I hope there'll be room, but you know, we'll see. Hammers, all this stuff. I have chisels down there. They're gonna go up on the wall as well. I have this Incra. I haven't used it yet. I've probably had it for 3 years. But last year I didn't have this table. So every time I worked on anything, it was on the other table over here. And that meant that I actually never had the room to fit it. This is actually my workshop that is cleaned up, just to give a reference. Because this was stacked up to here 2 days ago until I cleaned it out. And of course personal protection. And this is just some projects that I'm working on at the moment. I have a couple of record number 5.5s. This was going to be the Christmas fun project, but I didn't get very far because I unfortunately ended up with the man flu for almost 4 weeks. That kind of stops everything. Yes, I was very close to dying. Probably not, but it really felt hard anyway. So I didn't get that far with it. But you know, I don't know if I'm gonna keep on doing it as a Christmas theme. Maybe I'll do a winter theme instead. I don't know yet. Maybe it'll just be a Viking theme. That will work too. Newyear or something in the sides. I don't know. I'll see when I get to it. I have an old bedrock Stanley, but there isn't a lot of blade yet, and it's heavily skewed. So I have made my own. This is our WL 34 steel. It's powder steel, so I just need to give it a final sharpen, and then this one is going to be one of the first ones to get the treatment, to get restored. And that is because I don't have a smoother at all. This one, I'm not in a hurry to finish this one, so I'm probably going to do this one at the same time, maybe. I don't know yet. And then I got the Hungdui because I had some irons that I wanted to sharpen. That's a pain in the ass to sharpen. This one included. But they don't do the ones that I had problems with. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just make my own. And of course, that's easier said than done. So just to round off the last couple of items on the table, this is the KM19 from Catch Moses. I just haven't gotten around to open it yet. If you want to see an unboxing, let me know. Some people really enjoy these, so maybe I'll do one anyway. I'm definitely going to do one with the Veritas shooting plane. This is my iPhone. I have an iPhone 12 that I dropped, and the tele lens, the zoom lens, broke. So I bought a kit on AliExpress to fix it. So yeah, I should have done that 2 months ago, but well, whatever. I'll get to things when I get to them. Also, there's a table-mounted router down here. I think they're called Triton in the States. In Europe, they go under the name of CMT. All of the what do you call it? Tables and drawers and so on are recycled. I mean, this is my parents' old dining table. It was supposed to be oak all the way through, but if you look at the part at the end here, you can see that it's glued on. So yeah, well, I decided to use it for this because as soon as you started cutting it, it just flexed like, yeah, crazy. But these are the sides because they had a table extension plate going in both sides. So that's perfect for a drawer in my life, at least in my world. And all drawers are made from the same construction. A 6mm plate at the bottom, just some plywood. And it's just, I think it's already out of pine. It's nothing fancy or anything. MDF or whatever I had lying around. Over here it's just in different heights and so on. This is actually 24mm. So spares to make just about everything. And in there, I don't know if you can see it, that's still spares from whatever I've had lying around. There's some thin oak. And then just a lot of wax on it. I made a bunch of it myself because it doesn't cost a lot. And when they stop binding up, I just give them another run. So that works really good. So that's it. And of course, the router was down there. Sticks up bottom. That's another thing that I need to finish. That's a box around it. The vacuum is already done. It's over there. It just needs to get connected to something. And the emergency stop is over there too. So everything is there. I just need to finish it. So at the same time, I'm gonna do the box. I'm gonna do a plate at the front. Maybe not all the way. Probably just from behind this post and over and into the drawer. Yeah, that would be it. And that's going to be for the clamps. So I also have a cam vac, and that's just for the big tools. That's for the surface, the table router, which unfortunately isn't mounted yet, which is a pain because that's the one that needs it the most. It's for the bandsaw and it's for the lathe. But yeah, well, I did find this, and I think they are really cool. These. I did make a video about it, but it is in Danish, and I chose these 3D printed versions because if you block a cam vac with 2 motors running, it takes about 3 seconds for it to blow the bag, and then everything that you picked up is just scattered over the workshop. I tried it, so I know. Now this one, at the moment, it's open for this one because it's down there. Move it up there and it sucks on the top one, and it's on the top too, which means the bottom one will go to the cam vac. From the cam vac to the bandsaw, and if I turn it up, it'll go up to the other one that's behind this one, and that's currently going to the lathe. But I do have plans on making a manual hose down there, but well, I'm not gonna get to that anytime soon anyway. I have the bandsaw. It's a record power. It's a fairly decent one. It's not bad. It's not the best you can get. But I tend to use that more than I use the K-Bags, which is why I'm thinking about getting rid of that. I really like that the material you're cutting is pushed down, because unless you cut something that's round, this feels really safe. I don't know, it's just me, or it's actually the way it is. And it doesn't make the same amount of dust that the K-Bags does. The K-Bags is supposed to be one of the better ones. It is a nice one, but the compound miters and all that it can do, I've never used it. Not even once. So what it excels at, I don't really do. And I've had more than once pieces that flew out because I cut a lot of small stuff. And it's just easy on the bandsaw or with a handsaw. A lot of times I will use a handsaw just because maybe it's half round, and so yeah, it's not easy to cut on anything. I just use the wooden clamps and attach it to the table and use a handsaw instead. That works fine. This one is for use on this table, and that one is for use with the bandsaw. And that's because if you set it up to the bandsaw, it probably won't fit or won't work with this one. But I don't know if that matters that much, because this is a round bit that's gonna go into that. So I don't know if that matters. If you know, feel free to let me know. Because if I could only use this one is far better than that one. And this is if I have long stock, I can put it in here. At the moment you can't, but this one is gonna go away soon. So then I use that one. I have this Record Power. It's the AC400 air filtration unit. I think it's about 3 years old. I just switched out the electronics, the circuit board in it, because it blew a fuse. But there's no problem. That's why I love. That's why I have Record. That's because, oh, well, I'll just send a new. Can you install it yourself, or do we need to take it in? And I can install it myself. It's just plugs. You don't have to solder anything. So that really works well. The remote control, I mean, that could be a lot better, but you have to there's an IR thingy on the side. If you're out in front of that one, it will turn on. This one is for the dust for the cam vac. I put that on it's just, I think it's I don't even know what it's from. Solite. Some light source thing. I turn it on, I can turn it off. And since I don't use it with anything that isn't 100mm hose, I don't have to worry about only using one motor. I just always use two. And that works okay. So because I don't have the ceiling height, some things will have to just be stored vertical wherever you can, and this is just where I have the space for it. I chose to move the lathe as far down to the wall as I could, because when I get to around here, I have to move the bandsaw out to avoid hitting this thing. And I did think about getting another lathe, because reality is I don't use the last half a meter, maybe more. I make things like this, just in wood, Christmas trees and bowls and so on, small stuff. Oh, and another thing that I have, because I have a son that is around 4 years old, I can switch off all my machines on these. I have one in there, I have one over there, and I also have one up here. So when I leave, I shut everything off, because he's so curious, he'll turn anything on. Yeah, and this is just different things. These are, some of the things I'm currently making, and some things I use for when I make knobs and totes and stuff for the old Stanleys and records. These are my stockpile of, I actually have a set that's made, ready to fit. I think I took them off, not this one, but one that was broken. So that's what I got left. And this is going to be fun, because that's a Stanley. It's not an old one. And then it's from a record 4.5. I have the frog. And I don't have toad knob. I don't have the... I think I have the lever cap. I think this is the lever cap for it. Or maybe it's for this one. I don't know. I think I have the lever cap for these two somewhere. I'll have to look. But I have new irons for these. So at some point I'm gonna make a video about them. This one has a broken side or bent side. So it's gonna be for myself, because I can't get a good deal on them. So yeah, well, that's the risk from buying on eBay. Sometimes, things arrive broken. Below it's just sandpaper. And, you need somewhere to throw all the garbage anyway. So that's just for me. and this was organized at some point, but you know, I flip around trying to find what I'm looking for, so at some point I'll fix that again. At the top is my chemistry shelf, glues, varnishes, all that good stuff, Danish oils, and below that is my torque for sharpening, and I got it with this 1600 grit diamond wheel. If I should buy one again, I'm not sure I would buy a torque because it is painfully slow to regrind an edge on a turning tool. It takes forever. But you don't remove a lot of metal with it. I did get this CBN wheel because I do, if I have irons for the planes, I sometimes do those on the CBN wheel. It's still easier to do on those than by hand. This is my sharpening station also, and below is, these are just, it fits with the Naniva. I think they're called Super Stones or Advanced. I don't remember which. I think they're called both. So these one, I didn't start with these. I started with the stone that I just recently put up for sale. This I actually don't remember what it's called, but 1000, 6000 grit. It was really decent, but it sometimes gets pretty cool out here, and that needs to be sunk in water for 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and these are splash and go, so that's why I have them. I do have a leather strap. I don't use this side at all, only this one. I started with this one, and I didn't really get anything out of it, so I made the other side as well. But I only use that with this diamond stone, and this diamond stone I only use for really old, rusty stuff that I don't want to put on my fancy stones. That's why I have it. I bought this when I got tired of that one being sunken in water. It's okay. I just cleaned it up with rubber. You do know that, don't you? That if you take, I found out because Trent sent one. So once in a while you use rubber, and that cleans up the stone, and it gets a second life. So, but I do have one honing guide from Veritas. It's a nice honing guide. It's very simple to use. That's what I like about it. I tried the Hongdui HD29. Really hated it, to be honest. It's not that it's a bad one. It's just it didn't do anything this one didn't do better. And this one's more simple and easy to use. So for me, well, that kind of seals the deal. So that's going to be it for me for now. Have a happy Christmas, even though it's a bit late. And good New Year. And if there's something you want to watch a video about, let me know. Otherwise, thumbs up and subscribe. And oh, I just remembered, I have videos. I recorded the entire thing in the process of making this Moxon vise. So if that's something you want to watch, let me know, and I'll see if I can get around to it. Otherwise, I'll see you around.